Okay. So Shyam sir, as of now your microphone is muted, so you can unmute your microphone.
Unmute. Okay, yes, sir, I have done it. And
just a minute, sir. Right now we have the chairman here, so he will be making a introduction. Then you can start, sir.
Namaste, Chairman Saab. Yeah.
No, down. Kila vachu paara, down. Adu down bana. Yeah, now it's okay. Okay.
Warm and soulful afternoon to all gathered here for Bodhi one-day international conclave on faculty contributions to institution development. A day without prayer is a day without blessing, and a life without prayer is a life without power. So let us begin this international conclave by invoking the blessing of God Almighty by prayer and song. Thank you. To begin this international conclave, I welcome Dr.KK, editor in Bodhi Journal, Assistant Professor of English, Government Arts Science College, Kerala, to deliver the welcome address at the conference hall.
Good afternoon, here. It is my great pleasure to welcome in the organizing team of the Bodhi Journal and Women's College, Women's College, Vasan Women's College, Madurai. First of all, I welcome Dr. Kumar sir, the president of this institution. Welcome, sir. Next, I welcome Kaviarasu ma'am, principal, N.M.S.Sermathai, Vasan College for Women. Welcome, ma'am. Next, I welcome Dr. Kaviarasu sir. Welcome sir. Next, I welcome Dr.KK sir, Associate Professor of English, Vellore Institute of Technology. Welcome sir. I welcome Ms. M. Puspuranika of this function. I welcome gathering all the faculty members and student friends. It is a key point of this program is how to faculty contribute to the institution. Like the only the program organized. I welcome all the participants to listen carefully. We invite the 3 foreign resources also. They will give the lecture now. And then the program will welcome address and vote of thanks will be speak within 10 minutes. After that, we listen the speakers from all over the world. We will listen, take the notes, give a little contribute to the institution. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your warm welcome. Now, I request Dr. President, N.M.S.Sermathai Vasan College for Madurai, to deliver the presidential address.
Good afternoon. International countries. Sorry for this waiting. Since it is getting late, we have to cut short our speech. So I will give blessing for the successful direct of this seminar. Faculty contributions to institution development. It's a timely program. We are expecting estimating it's a very close to Mr. Bala. Yeah. Associate Professor in Pharmacy, Department of English, International University, Bangladesh. I welcome you, sir. Thank you. It is talking about the curricular aspect. Kaviarasu, Professor English, India. Topic is teaching and learning. I like this topic. I have to mention teaching and learning. I always used to follow this one. Teaching and learning. Teaching and learning. Learning for teaching. Okay. Then about Madurai, Dr. Madurai, Senior Lecturer, Department of English Language Teaching. Ministry of Colombo, Sri Lanka. Students support and progress in the case of the topic. Sir, I welcome. Dr. Vasan, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Language Studies, Conclave University, Woman. The topic is teaching and evaluation. I welcome you, sir. Then Dr. J.K., Associate Professor of English, School of Sciences and Languages, Vellore Institute of Technology, India. Topic research innovation. Okay, all the 5 topics are really one should understand. If you want progress in your life, or if you want progress in the career, or if you want progress in our college, you should learn and listen what they are going to deliver. Because junior members may be here. Some of the strategic stuff might have seen the faculty program, how they involved at the time of NAC visit. What are the duties we have done and successfully got a B grade. Nothing but we got a A grade really. Since the system is changed, we got a B grade. Okay. Once for all, I welcome and bless and all the staff members to request to listen so that we can all the 5 topics are very, very essential for the next NAC accreditation. We are waiting for the next accreditation, that is the year 2023. Okay, all the best. All the best. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I invite Ms. Fatima, Principal, N.M.S.Sermathai Vasan College for Madurai, to take the application.
A very warm and pleasant afternoon to you all gathered here. To enrich the knowledge
of faculties through interaction with eminent personalities from academics is the prime motive of all faculty development program. The rapport between both the International Journal and our college has become tradition of continuing to be touched. As an institute, we are grateful to both the International Journal committee members for their marvelous support in all academic years, even during the pessimist situation. So, in this juncture, I thank Dr. Balakrishnan for all his support. So, thank you, Bala sir, for a wonderful support for arranging this activity program, and welcome you, sir, on behalf of the college. We have veterans, professors from various universities from various states and countries to speak on the institutional upliftment strategies like curriculum aspects, student support and progression, teaching and learning, teaching and evaluation, research and innovation. I, on behalf of our management, welcome all the dignitaries in the dais and also in the foreign countries as a resource person of today's event. So, welcome you, sir. On behalf of our management, principal and the staff, I welcome you and all the dignitaries in the from Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Oman. The time which we are going to spend for the next 2 hours will be valuable one to all of us. I believe. Thank you all for joining us. At this wonderful moment, I wish our college IQAC coordinator, Mrs. Pushparani, and joint coordinator, Mrs. Bengali, and the IQAC team members for the spontaneous and pleasant arrangement. Our college IQAC is conducting innumerable programs and activities which truly helps the staff and students and college to reach its sky. So I wish the all success for their activities. Thank you, Pushparani, for a wonderful program, and thank you, one and all. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Now it's time to honor the guest dignitaries of today. Now I request our president sir to give the name to Dr.KK, to Dr.KK Kaviarasu, Assistant Professor of English, Vasan College. Then I request our president sir to Dr.KK, Associate Professor of English, School of Social Sciences and Languages, of the college. Next, a small memento to Dr.KK, editor, Bodhi Journal, and the College. Next, a token of our gratitude to Dr. Vasan. Now it's time for the session.
Samsha, good afternoon. Can you hear me, sir? Sir, you are muted actually.
Okay.
Now you're audible. Yes.
You are very much audible.
No, it's muted, sir. Your microphone is muted.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Now it's very clear, sir.
Okay.
The only audience space. So I'm just keeping the camera so that you can see the audience as well.
Yeah. It's a lovely audience I can see.
Sir, you have over 100 teachers here, and you have teachers watching your program online through YouTube link as well. And,
okay. Tell them I'm flabbergasted with their presence, but I'm going to let them down.
Okay. So we will start. Very good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Probably, I think you are energetic like me. Are you energetic? Yes. Ma'am, are you all energetic here? Ma'am, ma'am, I tight staff full staff வந்து நான் தூங்கலாம்னு சொல்லிட்டா. அப்படியா? இது கிடையாது இல்லையா? நம்ம யூசுவலா வந்து we have a practice ஒரு ஒர்க் ஷாப் ட்ரைனிங் ப்ரோக்ராம் அப்படின்னா எப்படி நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கோம் அப்படின்னா சரி ஒரு 1 hour போய் கொஞ்சம் ரெஸ்ட் எடுப்போம். ஏன்னா காலையிலேயே நம்ம வீட்டுல இருந்து கிளம்பி வந்திருப்போம். வீட்டுல இருந்து சமைச்சு பிள்ளைங்களை ரெடி பண்ணி டிராவல் பண்ணி வரதே ஒரு பெரிய டாஸ்க். ஐ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் தட். ஆனா இந்த செமினார் வந்து நம்ம ரெஸ்ட் எடுக்கிற டைம் இல்லை, கொஞ்சம் எனர்ஜைஸ் பண்ணிக்கிற டைம். நீங்க எல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் எனர்ஜியா இருப்பீங்களா கொஞ்ச நேரத்துக்கு? மேம், you all speak Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, Chinese. We have expert who can speak Bangla, and he is an expert in English as well. So I'm very happy to introduce Dr. Shams. He is our I should rightly say him as our forefather, a man full of wisdom. It's not that I have called him and I'm praising him. I have spent time with him personally, and he's an expert in language. Here we are all from different departments, and for some of us, our regional medium may be Tamil, most of us, including me, and for some of you, you must be from UK, Australia, USA. So whatever may be the case, it's always good to learn a language. And Professor Shams sir is one very kind-hearted gentleman who has agreed to meet us all and to share his experience. He has wide experience. He is known very well for Cambridge assessments and examinations. Plus, he is a human, first of all. When I say human, he can understand us much better than anybody else. So he served as head, as well as he was director in many positions. And as of now, he is helping different institutions in Bangladesh. Plus, he is helping a lot of teachers like us. So that's the reason why we have Dr. Sham with us. Sham sir, I think I have made justice and humbly accept our invitation. So I really thank you very much, and it's time for you to start, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Right. Thank you, sir.
So 1 minute. Please listen to sir very carefully, because it's really good to learn his language style. He doesn't speak like me very versely and all. He speaks very purified English, and that is the way English should be spoken. Probably, it is a very good experience for us to learn from him. Right? Thank you, sir. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, sir, for the, I'm speechless for your introduction, really. I would ask my friends in the audience and those who are online that please don't believe Professor Karthikeyan what he has just said. I'm nobody. I'm a tiny little fry. So don't expect too much, or else you will be upset and disappointed. To the lovely audience there, I want to begin with Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. And namaste. I'm not visible. I'm showing if I can share my screen. Sir, is my screen shared? Can you see it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. But I'm not visible. Now they will have to miss my lovely face, possibly. Or if your host can help us in this. However, I would. She said, life without prayer is a life without power. Incidentally, I plan to start my talk with a little bit of prayer for everybody. And I want to take you to a different world of Rama and Lakshmana.
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सी सीताराम
बद्दो स्लाइड जाओ।
ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। भज प्यारे तू सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम भज प्यारे तू सीताराम। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान। राम पतित पावन सीताराम।
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my kind friends from few countries, Singapore, Malaysia, India, Bangladesh, UK, USA, welcome to my humble presentation on curriculum aspects in the conclave organized by Bodhi Journal and the Girls' College. I forgot the name anyway. I'm very honored. The word is respect. I would like to give the wise audience a message with this word. And I want all of you to be reminded of the mythological great narrative of Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita. In absence of the king, the younger brother, Lakshmana, ruled over the kingdom, keeping these wooden sandals on the throne. He didn't sit. That's real education. That's respect. With that sense of respect, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to be in a different land, different from now. It's in the past. You can see Gurukulam. Then there are only few students in the house of the Guru. And if I can remind you of Kocho Debojani in the poetry of Rabindranath Tagore, Debojani was the daughter of the Guru, and Koch, the disciple, was sitting like this in front of the Guru, and having been taught over 12 years, he was departing the Guru's house. And that's how Tagore took the context to write his great poem, Koch and Debojani. However, that was the kind of education our ancestors received. If I take you to the right slide, you can see people in white, and they're sitting under a tree. That was Gurukulam. And if I take you to now, on the left, you can see the laptop, the other equipment, students properly dressed up in their desk. On the right, small children busy with their computer screen. So this is the difference. We are now here. But shall we forget that? Shall we forget the wooden sandal image? Shall we forget the banyan tree? My answer is no, my friends, because that is the root. That is where we come from. And that should be firmly rooted in our imagination, in our education, in our feelings, in our actions and day-to-day life. Otherwise, the building of knowledge and experience and skills we are trying to build will not be built properly. This is the foundation, and we must keep this foundation back in our minds while thinking and talking and doing about education in our country all over the world. My friends, I want you to take, in the present day, Gurukulam is still available. They are in practice, but the dress has changed. The asana, the seating arrangement has changed. The dresses have changed. So this is going on now. Then coming to now, still we have people like that, and now coming to now. I would like to take you to a different world. I'm sorry, I'm having to read something, and this is going back to the background and the root as well. Karthikeyan sir, am I audible? Are you hearing me?
You're audible, sir. It's
Okay,
very clear as well.
great, thank you. So, as I was talking about the root that we have been building our tree up on, and those roots have rooted or had rooted in some little phrases and words. Let me take you to Nalanda University, 5th century. But their new motto, I don't know their old motto, I didn't find it. When they started Nalanda, the oldest university in the world, they had a motto, but we don't have any trace of that motto. In 2014, with the Nobel laureate Amartya Sen as its chancellor, they started Nalanda again. And their motto is excellence, not numbers. This excellence, expression excellence, goes to too many dimensions: humanity, high achievement, ecstasy, excellence, and supreme pleasure, knowledge and wisdom. That's what Nalanda proposes to hold on and disseminate. Let me go to Oxford University, established in 1096. Their motto is Dominus Illuminatio Mea in Latin. English is, the Lord is my light. The light that takes us to the Madam Chairman's word power. Life without prayer is life without power, she said. So I can see a reflection of Madam Chairman's speech in this motto of Oxford University. The Lord is my light. Let's come to Cambridge, established in 1200. From here, we derive light and sacred draughts, means cups of wine or cups of knowledge. Let's go to Harvard, 1636. And they have only one word. They have only one word. I'm afraid my connection is getting a bit dodgy, but please put up with me. Harvard has got only one word. Truth. Truth, wisdom, excellence, ecstatic pleasure, supreme pleasure go together, fortunately. Let's come back to Bengal. Rabindranath Tagore, Vishwabharati University, Shantiniketan. Their motto is Yatra Visvam Bhavati Kenadiyam, Sanskrit. English is, where the world makes a home in a single nest. Excuse me. So Tagore and his grandfather. They established this Shantiniketan as a single nest where the whole world meets. That is their motto. They don't believe in segregation of religion, caste, and creed. Raghupati Raghava, Raja Ram, Patita Pavana, Sita Ram, Ishvaro Allah, Teri Naam, Sabko Sammati, De Bhagavan. Allah, Ishwar, Bhagwan, they are the same thing. The root is one, that one almighty creator. And Vishwabharati really takes it very well. Come to Nehru University motto, they say not me, but you. It means whoever comes to the university, Nehru University, one of the famous ones in India, 1969, they are talking about not me, but you. It means in Bengali, we have got a saying, Apunare loe bibrito rote ashe nai keho aboni pore সকলে আমরা সকলের তরে প্রত্যেকে মোরা পরের তরে. English is, nobody has come to this world to be busy with themselves. Everybody has come to the world to sacrifice for others. That goes with the ultimate truth. Dhaka University, where my alma mater, education is light. My friends, look at the words: excellence, Lord, Creator, light, knowledge, power, prayer, me, you, everybody, the whole world. Actually, to me, the ultimate target of any education is supreme knowledge, wisdom. And the target of the knowledge that is going to be directed is the humanity, everybody in the world, whole human race. My friends, I'm coming to the nitty-gritty of the talk, curricular aspects of an individual faculty to contribute to the institution or the university they serve. There is only one line there: mission and vision of the university institution. My friends, I think I have already spelled out through these slides what should be the mission and vision of a university faculty. University has got a vision and mission statement. A faculty should be aware of that vision and mission statement of their institution or university. And the faculty would remind himself or herself about the roots I was talking about for the last few minutes. Those are the roots, keeping in mind as foundation. Add to that the mission and vision of their individual institution. He or she should have the knowledge, proper knowledge, and then mix them together, the root and the newly built up trunk of the tree of the wisdom. They should slowly be starting to build it up with the addition of the new bricks of mission and vision of their institution. Now, what does it do? Look, it does a lot of things. And an individual needs a lot of things to mix up those things: the roots, the present, and the future. The roots of our knowledge of our entity, the present knowledge and our entity, and the future knowledge and our future entity. Those three things should be aligned together. And our curriculum as a faculty should be aligned. We should know that our curriculum should be aligned with mission and vision of the institution. Then we narrow it down to our program goals. We should imprint or include or integrate those statements in the mission and vision to our course goals. Align them together. Sir, am I audible? Am I audible, sir?
Sir, yes, sir. Yes.
Good. Okay. And the course goal will decide not only that, we should remember the demands of the job market of the 21st century. Those course goals and the skills and knowledge we want to impart should be addressing the job market needs, basically. And with that, we should try and develop the student, the whole person, not a particular course, not a particular direction of knowledge, but the whole human being in the student. What we need research and development. We have to be alive with our research on each and every aspect that we come across during our teaching life. We have to conduct research on the relationship between the student and the institution, student, institution, and the faculty, student, institution, faculty, and the parents, student, institution, faculty, parents, and the society that we live in.
Shyam, sir, I'm sorry. The screen is not visible, actually.
The screen is not visible?
Your presentation screen is not visible.
Okay, sorry. Maybe that's my fault.
The best thing that you can do is click stop sharing, and now it's visible. Now it's visible.
Okay, that's fine. So
I could see some black screen which is covering the PPT as well.
I'm sorry.
Now it's perfect.
I'm
Perfect,
sorry.
sir, now I can see.
Is it okay, sir?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, good. So research is one of the main things today in this world of globalization. We need to bring in new knowledge. We are not stereotyped. We are not going to be stereotyped. We're not going to stick to the roots we belong to. We're going to get a trunk out of it and make it grow up day by day by in the classroom, by bringing humanity in the classroom, by bringing social needs in the classroom, by bringing real life in the classroom. So that's what an individual faculty should be thinking, and that's what should be the basis of their teaching, imparting knowledge and skills to the student. My friends, we can do that if we can promote. We can do that perfectly. We can do that effectively if we can promote co-curricular activities, including soft skill development, including development of the soul inside the learner, development of the intellect inside the learner, development of patriotism and wisdom inside the learner. That's what should be the ultimate aim of an individual faculty, which would in turn help the institution to grow, the society to develop, and the humanity to sustain very well as we like. And along with that, a faculty should remember development of critical thinking abilities, development of problem-solving skills, and decision-making aptitude of our learners. And so many burden, I've developed a model. I am very grateful to KK sir that he has forced me to burn my midnight oil last night until 2:30 in the morning and develop this model in my own way. Basically, the part of the talk I have been talking would be reflected on this model. In the middle circle, you can see individual faculty contribution. How do we do that? I have said it. We need to have curriculum should be aligned with mission and vision of the institution. We need to focus on the program goals and requirements of the job market. We need to impart knowledge and skills to the students that is required by the job market. We should understand both the program objectives and the course objectives. Student development, I've talked about. Research and development, I've talked about. Bringing new knowledge and innovation in the classroom, I've talked about. Promote co-curricular activities, soft skills development of the students, I've talked about. And development of critical thinking abilities, problem solving skills, and decision making aptitude among the students, I have talked about. So I wanted to be a bit, techie by doing this little figure, making this one. Thank you, KK sir. You forced me to do it. So probably I will keep it as a kind of souvenir from this conclave today. My friends, with that note, can I say in Tamil Nadu with a little pinky flower, thank you, shukriya, dhanyabad. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. I think I have finished in time. Thanks for your patient hearing.
Sir, we will be very much happy. Please stop your presentation and can you just make your camera turned on?
Thank you. Any question? I'm ready to answer.
Yes, you can just click presentation. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Rather, I thank you. Probably I will ask that madam to talk. Ma'am, why don't any one of you give just share your experience? Probably, so this is the first time that teachers over here are experiencing experts like you. So I didn't explain them why we have planned for such a program today. The whole idea is for every one of us to collaborate. All teachers here, I'm also same like you, and the reason for introducing Dr. Sham, as well as we have another expert, Dr. Roy sir. If you can see Dr. Roy sir, as well as you can also see. Yeah, we have Dr. S. Rajadurai sir. So all these people are very down to earth people. For example, if you just see what time we came here in this hall, have you seen me or Kaviarasu behaving something like a chief guest? We make things happen. In the வேலை செய்யாதவன் என்ன தெரியுமா பண்ணுவான்? எப்பயுமே செய்ய மாட்டான். இந்த இல்லையா? ஆனா வேலை செய்யறவனுக்கு என்ன தெரியுமா முக்கியம்? எப்படி தான் வேலை செஞ்சுடுவோம்டா. நம்ம இந்த ஈகோலாம் பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா we cannot grow. உண்மையா இல்லையா? எப்ப நம்ம ஈகோ பார்க்கறோமோ, I'm sorry sir, I'm just using my local dialect.
I understand it. This is Bengali.
Probably Rajadurai sir can understand it because he's from University of Colombo, right? Sir, I'm just emphasizing on whatever exactly you have shared with them as well, right? நம்ம என்னைக்கு வந்து ஈகோ பாக்குறோமோ அன்னைக்கு வந்து வளர்ச்சி அப்படிங்கிறது ஸ்டாப் ஆயிடும். செகண்ட் வந்து என்ன பெருசு ஒன்றும் கிடையாது அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா லேர்னிங் வந்து கட் ஆயிடும். இதுல சில பேர் நல்லா தூங்கிட்டு இருந்தீங்க, நான் டிஸ்டர்ப் பண்ணல. ஆக்சுவலா that shows that how much interest you have in learning something new. I don't know whether you have tried like this. Probably you may not know how much time we have spent to execute this program. Do you think that these faculty, they don't have any work? நம்ம மாதிரி அவங்க நம்ம தான் வேலை இல்லை, எனக்கு தான் வேலை இல்லை, சாருக்கு வேலை இல்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறோமா? கிடையாது. Actually, he has a lot of responsibility. He is training one of the defense university in Bangladesh itself. So that is the commitment he has. And he was texting me by morning 2:30, Karthik is there, all right. So just see the commitment. நம்ம யூஸ்வலா பெரிய வெள்ளம் எதிர்பார்த்துட்டு இருப்போம், ஒரு டம்ளர் தண்ணி வந்தாலும் எடுத்துக்கணும், யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இல்லையா? So that is the best thing that we must learn. I don't want to call you and disturb your sleep, but that is not at all a good sign. என்ன பெஸ்ட் இருக்கோ அதை நம்ம லேர்ன் பண்ணிக்குவோம். சில பேருக்கு வந்து லாங்குவேஜ் புரியாம இருந்திருக்கலாம். Somehow he has shown you with some slides. At least you must have noted it out. I don't know how many of you understood what exactly is shown there, but I know how important that is to us. Sir, we have many potential faculty here among us who will be ready to collaborate with you. My dear faculty friends, if you are very much interested in language teaching, if you are very much interested in socio-linguistics, if you are from English department, if you are interested in socio-linguistics, or Sham's area itself is literature, so he is an expert. And whomever we have as dignitaries here, Dr. Sham, again Dr. Rajadurai, again he is an expert in curriculum development. And again we have Roy sir, he is an expert in He's a linguistic expert. So all these experts are ready to spare their time. And I know Roy sir has completed just now his class, just before 2 minutes. And without even a break, he has joined us. நான் ஏன் தெரியுமா சொல்றேன், இவங்க எல்லாமே கமிட்மெண்டா இருக்கும்போது நம்மளும் கொஞ்சம் கமிட்மெண்டா இருக்கணும் இல்லையா? ஏதோ ஒரு விஷயம் லேர்ன் பண்ணிக்கோ. இது வந்து நம்ம வந்து பேருக்காக ஏதோ ப்ரோக்ராம் பண்ணல. நீங்க நினைச்சுக்கலாம், என்னடா இவங்க ஒரு காலையில் இவங்க ஊர்ல இல்லாம வந்துட்டானுங்க, நாங்களும் இந்த ஊர் தான் நம்மளும். ஸோ நம்ம வந்து கொஞ்சம் இங்கிருந்து கொஞ்சம் தள்ளி போனோம், திருவள்ளி பக்கம் போனோம், சார் கொஞ்சம் நாகர்கோவில் பக்கம் போனோம், அவ்வளோதானே தவிர நம்ம எல்லாமே லேர்ன் பண்ணாதனால தான் நம்ம வேற ஒரு லெவலில் இருக்கோம். நீங்களும் அந்த லெவலுக்கு வரணுங்கிறது எங்க விஷயம். ஸோ நம்ம மட்டும் கொஞ்சம் வளர்ந்து நல்லா காசு சம்பாதிச்சா போதும். உங்களுக்கு தான் காசு சம்பாதிக்கணும் ஐடியா இல்லையா? நீங்க ரூபா நிறைய வச்சிருக்கீங்களா வீட்டுல எல்லாம்? அப்படியா? உங்களுக்கு வாங்குற சம்பளமே போதுமா? நிறைய தேவை இல்லையா? எப்பயுமே இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணாம எப்படி ரிட்டர்ன்ஸ் கிடைக்கும்? கிடைக்காது. இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் வாட் ஐ மீன் இஸ் த ஒர்க் தட் இஸ் ஷோ. ஸோ நான் ரொம்ப நாளாக வேலை பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கேன், ரிட்டர்ன்ஸே கிடைக்கல. கிடைக்கும் when you are very smart. Very smart அப்படிங்கிறது not to cheat somebody or not to pull somebody down. There are many ways to be smart. I wish that you also will learn in days to come. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shyam sir. Probably I will ask one of the madam just to give feedback.
All right. I'm very happy to be here. Thanks a lot to everyone there.
Ma'am, can you just focus the camera to ma'am? Oh, not out of focus.
I'm so happy to hear your messages. We learn something from you, sir. But you have mentioned development of critical thinking in the side motion.
I'm sorry, sir. Actually, she is a little bit away from the system. Ma'am, please come. Ma'am, you get the microphone.
So we are so happy to.
Okay, so sir, we are so happy to see you and listen your lecture, sir. In your slide, you have mentioned the development of critical thinking of the students. Can you give some ways how we can develop the students' critical thinking?
Right. I have also mentioned, thank you for the question. It's a very important question. And I would like to really add to that critical thinking goes along with problem solving. I uttered that phrase as well, problem solving. We don't just go to the class and teach the poem, stopping by the wood on a snowy evening. The horse doesn't want to go. The darkness falling down. The forest just a little away and the lake frozen. The horse is shaking its harness bell. And the rider is thinking, what is the horse asking? In that Robert Frost poetry, if you know. And the last one is, last stanza of the poem is, the wood is lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Basically, this is the end of the poem. Now, do we go to the classroom and recite the poem and paraphrase it? My answer is no. My answer would be, I would be taking my students to a land of music, or to a land of imagination, or to a painting depicting a forest with mysterious attractions, or even to a picture, another picture. Ask them to write a poem about the picture. Write a poem in their own language. I'm teaching English, but I'm asking a group of students in my class to watch over a picture and write a poem in their mother tongue. Another group to read the text and find out the difficult images that they are reading and they don't understand. And I would be asking them to really research on that, because devices are available. They have got, each one has got a tablet, has got a phone. They can search the right word and find the meaning themselves. I'm not going to do paraphrasing in Tamil Nadu in my classroom. I'm going to give them the responsibility to solve the problem of the poems. I'm going to ask them what a metaphor is, what is simile, find out, and report back. I've got now 5 or 6 groups in the classroom, and each group has a different function, activity to do. One is finding out the meanings inside the poem. The other is looking at a painting of a forest and thinking about what is going on in the forest, the animal life, the plant life, or even human life, aborigines, etc., etc. Their thinking power is increasing there. And one may be listening to a music, Ravi Shankar, Yudi Menuhin, now describe or narrate what you have heard. So all these 4 or 5 activities in the classroom coming back, including a poem in Tamil Nadu. And hopefully the poem will go along with the line that Robert Frost has described in Stopping by the Wood in a snowy evening. So what do you think? I've just in last 3 minutes, I narrated a classroom of teaching poetry. Did I go to the class to paraphrase the English poem in Tamil Nadu or in Bangla? I did not. I just went there. Maybe I would be welcoming the students with a music, little bit music aligned to linking the theme of the poetry, the theme or the undertone of the poem, and they would be entering the classroom in a soothed, calming way, and they would be shushed by me. Listen to the music that will calm down their brain and their body. They will be relaxed, and their thinking power would be energized. And then slowly the music would be stopped, and I would maybe put up a picture of Robert Frost up on the screen. Who is this? They don't know. And then maybe I would put up the recitation of the poem itself by Robert Frost himself. They would listen to the recitation, and they would go now to do all those 5, 6 different activities, come back in 10, 15 minutes and report to the whole class. Means 5 types of knowledge, experience being disseminated in a single lesson without paraphrasing the English poetry in Tamil Nadu or in my mother tongue, Bangla. Madam, does it give you any clarification? Are you happy with that answer?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
No. Actually, our teachers are a little bit away from the microphone.
So who heard me, sir?
Yeah. No, we have connected your audio output to the speakers.
All right. Thank
whereas
you.
input is in the laptop.
If they feed me back, is that okay? Or any other question, please?
Friends, we have Dr. Lisha Sharmin. Dr. Lisha Sharmin is the head department of English at Affordable University. She is with us again. You can see.
Oh, madam is there.
We have
good.
Yasmin. Yasmin is a certified language trainer who is certified by Cambridge. She is also with us. Hello, Yasmin. She is also from Bangladesh. We have Akhtar Faiz, as well as we have Marina Mukta. And thank you very much, Sham sir, for your commitment. I think that is the one best quality I should learn from you. And I think you all should learn that from you. Like, in spite of age and other factors that you have, I personally know. So,
sir, I'm as young as you are.
Sure.
Can I add to that? I'm very honored that my head of the department, Dr. Lisha Sharmin, is here. I think she's watching over me, and I'm very happy that I've got a sweet girl in this country, who I call the top girl of the country, Tasina Yasmin. I'm really honored. Tasina is a really doer. I've got a student, Marina Mukta, also, who I still teaching. And perhaps I've got few other students here, Ashish, I could see. But I welcome all of you. Thank you. You have made my day, Madam and Tasina and my students and the lovely audience present. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's give a big hand to Mohammed Shamsul. Thank you, sir. So kind of you. And I will keep you updated positively after 3-4 hours from the end of this program as well. Thank you very much.
I'll be staying here, sir. I'm not going to go away.
Thank you, sir. So you can please mute your microphone, and we have our next expert, Dr. S. Rajadurai. Rajadurai sir, ninga camera on pannalam sir. Dr. Rajadurai sir is from University of Colombo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Radhadurai
So
sir.
I have a great pleasure in meeting you all. Okay, sir, you can go ahead.
Radhadurai sir is an expert in language development as well as curriculum development, to be very specific. And he is an expert in designing context for special Englishes, for example, English for nursing, English for engineers on specific domain. So he's an expert in that. Moreover, again, as I said, if all these speakers, whomever we meet today, they are very down-to-earth persons. They are exclusively here and ready to work with all of us. And that is what we are going to learn, how to collaborate with all these people, all these experts, I should say. That's the reason why I'm telling you their specialty as well. Please make a note of it. You may be even from computer science background. We can easily collaborate on different aspects related to technology as well. So we have a lot of chances. So with that, let me request Dr. S. Rajadurai sir to turn on his camera. And sir, the audience are very eagerly waiting for your presentation as well. Thank you, sir. Over to
Okay,
you.
sir. Thank you very much, sir. And hope everybody can listen to me. Is my voice audible?
Rajadurai sir, your camera is not turned on.
My the video is on, sir. Now, can you hear me? You can hear my voice.
I can see you, sir. Now it's very clear, sir.
Okay, right. Is it okay, sir, if I start?
Please, sir. You are visible. Your audio is very clear, and you can start, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for everything. And so it's time for me to start. And so Professor S. Balakrishnan, the publisher and managing editor of Bodhi Journal from the American College Madurai, Tamil Nadu, and Mrs. Kartika Rani, the principal of N.M.S.Sermathai Vasan College for Women, the distinguished resource persons, and I'm very much pleased to welcome our friend Dr. Semshul, and here from Bangladesh University, Dr. Lisa Sharmin, and Dr. Tashina Yasmin, and many other friends are here. So, dear distinguished resource persons and the organizing committee members and participants, academicians, a very good afternoon to you all. And it's my great privilege and honor to have been invited as a resource person of Bodhi One-Day International Conclave, faculty contributions to institution development, jointly organized by the internal quality assurance cell of N.M.S.Sermathai Vasan College for Women, Madurai, and the Bodhi International Journal of Research in Humanities, Arts and Science. So first of all, let me express my sincere thanks to the organizing committee for extending their kind invitation to me as a resource person to address this auspicious occasion of the One-Day International Conclave on the topic of student support and progression. So let me also express my sincere gratitude to my friend Dr.KK for proposing me as one of the resource persons to this One-Day International Conclave. I am really obliged to you, sir. And so the other thing is, I'm very proud of seeing you all the learned friends here. So, I thank you once again for organizing this kind of enlightening international conclave one day. And it's a good platform for us to see our friends whom we meet from various countries, Bangladesh and Singapore, UK, and other countries. Okay, so thank you very much for everything. My topic is student support and progression. This is really a vast topic, and I hope I'd like to focus on the important areas. So that is these are the the basic components of a student support. The first one is mental health and well-being. The second one is physical health. And the third one is academic support. The next one is report and support. And the next one is student service center, financial support and scholarship, differently abled students, and now we support them. And the other one is counseling. And next one is hostel accommodation. This is university accommodation. It's very important. The next one is career guidance, that is employability service and library service. These are the basic components of students support. So that deals closely with the student support. Every institution is expected to have this one for the promotion of students. I mean academic, not only academic, even social well-being, and as I said, the mental health. And in every respect, the student support is very important. So the academic institutions, all academic institutions means academics, the head of the department, the dean of the respective faculties, and other centers. There are a lot of centers we have in the universities, sports club and alumni and charity club and research centers like that. So all this, we are working towards the achievement of academic achievement of students and professional development. This both should go together. So now these are the institutions that contribute immensely towards the development of the students' academic and professional achievement as well. Now let's take this mental health and well-being. Now you know now mental health, now collapse of mental health, and you know that is emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Now if mental and physical both, I mean, constitute health of a person. If these are perfect, what happens is education collapses. Now, recently, now we have witnessed this due to the effect of impact of COVID-19. The students underwent immense psychological problems. Now, if you take Sri Lanka, not only Sri Lanka, all over the countries, and now I'm taking an example here. Now, suppose now, not suppose, these students have a lot of problems really now connected to online teaching. Now, we have all switched on to online teaching because of that's a sudden, I mean, change that a paradigm shift, I should say, that has taken place due to COVID-19 pandemic. So here now the students are unable to get, you know, internet access. Sometimes there is signal problem. Sometimes the students are unable to afford to pay, I mean, data. And sometimes, you know, they don't have phone or else this equipment, etc. This causes a lot of psychological problems in them. Now, frustration, disappointment, if the students are unable to access to lesson, I mean online teaching, they get disappointed. Disappointed in a sense, they lose, they think that fail in their examination. So these kind of things. So this emotional. The other thing is in normal classrooms, when a student comes from faraway places to a university, a kind of homesickness. And the other thing is, we know that too much of assignments. Now, for example, in Colombo University in 2012, I can remember 3 students committed suicide because of overburden of assignments. They are overburdened. They were overburdened with assignments. Too much assignments. The students work until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock like that. So they sacrifice their family relations and food, sleep, everything. So you just imagine the psychological problems they undergo and the social well-being. So these things all lack. Now, these problems are not solved. And on the other hand, this physical health means now this malnutrition and also obesity and the other problems related to this food, good food. For example, if students are involved in games and sports activities, if they don't get good food, nutritious food, so these problems again come up. So academic support, I mean the institution should see to these needs. I mean, these are grave needs which should be, I mean, the grievances should be addressed. So we have to take into consideration these things. And academic support, on the other hand, now, you know, education, if students are unable to achieve their expected grade, now, for example, we hear that GPA like that. We have sometimes they get a few pass with first class and second upper and lower divisions like that. Or some fail in the examination. The percentage is very low. This is academic achievement. Then the institution, I mean the dean of the respective faculties and HODs, they should have a plan. This is very simple. I mean, now they could, you know, they can, I mean, recruit even the students who passed out the universities with flying colors, and the service can be obtained visiting lecture from other universities like that, or peer group, peer tutors, peer group learners, and all over by educators, demonstrators, staff, I mean, assistant lecturers, by tutors. There are all these, I mean, support could be obtained. What we need is will. Now, most of the institutions now find they don't have a proper plan. It is 100% commercialized. Even in Sri Lanka, we find many private universities, they are commercialized. In Sri Lanka, there are 16 universities, all state universities. You don't believe me, 90% of the students come from poor background. So only poor students come to state universities to pursue their higher studies. Rich students, what they do is they pay and they go to foreign countries. So now this trend, now we should be, I mean, we think of the students really and make them good citizens and useful citizens and skills filled. Now, as our friend Dr. Mohammed said, I was really listening to his nice lecture, the critical thinking, how he explained. And this kind of things we have, I'll come back to that one. So student service centers, the next one, it should be there. And report and support, we find a lot of problems in academic institution, ragging, sexual harassment, type of other abuse, etc. taking place. So now students, through fear, they don't report it to the higher authority. So now we should have a mechanism for it to bring out their grievances and find solution to this. Safety is very important. Now, you don't believe in Sri Lanka. During the past few years, 2,300 students did not want to have their higher education. Parents fear, I mean, send their students to universities because of ragging problems and all kind of things. Though the government has implemented the University Grounds Commission, very strict action, the punishment, everything is there, still it is going on. So now students don't report to the authority through fear. So this proper mechanism should be there to save students. So the police post, and also the counseling and the marshals, of course, now they are in charge of all these disciplinary actions. A board should be appointed here to look into this one. It is still existing, but it is not active. So this should be reinforced in my point of view. So who are now, now as I told you, 90% of his students are poor students who are coming to state universities. So it is our responsibility to give, I mean, to save them. I mean, free from all kind of fear, panic, all kind of things. Otherwise, there won't be any education, however much you teach. Now, during the initial period, now I can remember. Then we teach now because of this COVID-19, this pandemic, students did not come, so no, and we didn't have any kind of problems like that. But during the initial period, if we have, lectures or kind of English lessons like that or skills development, what happens is students don't attend. So because of fear, or sometimes they are filled with lot of fear, panic, this kind of things, lack of confidence, frustration, all kind of things we find. So they can't attend their lectures successfully. This should be addressed. So, and financial support, the other thing should be there. Students work hard in private places and they don't attend classes. And so if they don't get money, course fee or for their expenses, they don't get in time from their parents, they get frustrated. So now again, the psychological problems come up, and or else they can't afford to pay for this electronic equipment. So these kind of, or to follow the courses successfully. So this financial support should be looked after by the academic institution. So scholarships of those students who excel in their studies, they should be given financial support. And the other thing is counseling. That is the other important part we should do. And accommodation. Accommodation means the hostel accommodation. Those students who come from faraway places or foreign countries, they should be provided hostel accommodation. And the other one is this career guidance unit. This plays a very important role, as I told you. It's not only academic, qualifications or achievement that would be useful or beneficial for students when they go to the industry. Now, I have seen a Tamil film, that is unemployed graduate. So that is in Tamil, Vela Illa Pattadari. So that film, an engineering student who is unable to utter even a word in English. So now that situation. On the other hand, it's quite ironic to say, being an engineering student is unable to operate computer. So this kind of this reflects they don't have skills. They have qualifications. Nowadays, students have paper qualifications, but they don't have required skills. By the industry, the industries require skills. So students lack skills, therefore they become unemployed. So this is between, the private universities and state universities. There is a big discrepancy. The students who pay quite a lot of money and gain their education, and this free education in Sri Lanka, you find free education until 13 years now, from grade 1 to grade 13 years. Even university education is also free most of the time. So now, but still a lot of expenses are incurred, which should be borne by students, parents, like that. So now what happens is here, now this skills development is very important. So this career guidance unit should play an instrumental role in developing skills. Now, for example, as Dr. Sanshul said, this critical thinking, very important. Basically, for all the disciplines or jobs, what the industry requires is commonly now, basic skills like communication skills, presentation skills, negotiation skills, meeting skills, IT skills. These skills are very important. So now these skills should be developed by career guidance unit in higher academic institutions. Otherwise, so in order to fulfill this one, to achieve this one, academic institutions should have a close link with industries. See the industries and what kind of skills they require from students. Now, for example, from students who follow this commerce and arts, or commerce and finance. Now, if they are unable to, if they don't have customer care skills or presentation skills, or else business writing skills, if they lack, they won't be able to do their jobs in the industry. And similarly, now if you take tourism industry, now we have tourism and leisure programs, and if they are unable to welcome a group of tourists, or else if they are unable to demonstrate their food, what they have prepared to a group of tourists, they are expected to make a presentation. If they can't make, they can't market. So now these kind of skills should be developed in order to get this internship. These academic institutions should have a great link with those industries and identify what kind of skills they need, industry needs, and do a research on such kind of skills and develop these skills among the students. The students should be able to develop, and when they go out, pass out the university, they should be both academically and professionally equipped. Otherwise, it's of no use. The other thing is, the academic institutions should work closely with the society. Now, for example, if the area is, now India and Sri Lanka, these are all agricultural countries. Now there is always a protest against the government. Farmers are deprived, they are disappointed, they commit suicide. Why all these things are happening? The research now, as our friend said, Dr. Sensual said, research is very, very important. The critical thinking is very important. Now we have to produce such kind of students to the society who would be useful, skilled. Not only skills, even personal qualities, as our friend said, is very important. Patriotic feelings and this kind of personal attributes like, good personality, understanding others' problems, that is empathy, and obedience, respecting others, democratic attitudes. So these are all should come together with these skills. Then only they will be useful citizens. Now, who are responsible for this one? Who should develop? This is a kind of academic institutions. The experts. Now, in every field you find experts. Now, even human resources management, and here now in the universities, the high academic institution, experts are there in every field. So we say medicine, physiotherapy, tourism, social sciences and humanities, and this law, all these fields. So the university, the higher authority should collect their experts, the expertise, and see in what way they can contribute towards the development, academic achievement or professional achievement of students in the respective fields. So this should be identified. Research is important. Otherwise, academic institution would be of no use. It should not be commercialized, 100% money-minded. It's a service is very important. Otherwise, we can't build a country. We can't now if an individual, if we build a student, we are building a nation. We have to think like that. Or a development should come from one step, making one person. Transformation is very important. Now, skilled, in the meantime, transformation, human values. So this education also should be looked after and things. So to fulfill that one, library and IT services play a significant role, an instrumental role. A wide, group of students benefit from library. So these kind of things are very important. A university or an academic institution should get, now as I mentioned earlier, experts from other fields. Now, for example, there are a lot of institutions we have. Sports clubs are there, charity clubs are there, research centers are there, alumni are there. And a lot of every subject, there is a society or a center like that. Those centers should be responsible to get the service of service of experts from other or fellow students, fellow teachers, or from from other universities in the same country, or from other countries. So this kind of exchange should be there. Nowadays, now we are in a global village. Now you see, now though I am from Sri Lanka, I am meeting our friends all. So now we are in one platform here. So this technology has shrunk our world. We are in a global village. So this is really good thing. So similarly, those kind of things, I mean knowledge hub. We are in knowledge hub. So we should be able to get the experts. I mean, medical faculty or medical faculty. This experts try to develop their disciplines from other in the same field from locally and internationally. So medicine is very important for all of us. So this kind of common platform there. So this academic support is the student support is academic support. So now student support should be, extended, fulfilling academically and professionally, plus now, as I told you, human values. All this should be done, and through, but now, as I discussed with you, mental and physical health, academic support, and report and support is student service. And the other thing, I didn't explain anything, this differently abled students. We have to see to their needs. Differently abled students are sometimes, they are genius. So, so we should help them, and proper counseling should be there. So all these things, things should be done by this academic support. For this, academic institution should play an instrumental role. The other thing is academic. Now I told you this one, student progression. This also now should see now how many, that percentage academic achievement, the percentage of students who pass with first class or second class, or some ordinary passes or normal passes. If failure cases are there, why they fail, like that research needs to be done and fulfill their needs. So all these things should come under this academic support, student support and progression, to make our individual development. And individual development is a nation's development. A nation's development is a country's development. Country's development is the world development. So a development takes place individually. Transformations takes place should be individually. We have to see to what extent I develop, skillfully, or else academically, professionally, all this, in what way or to what extent I would be useful. So this kind of thing should originate. So teachers play an instrumental role in developing these skills in the in students. So in this way, we can build a nation. So now teachers are the nation builders. So higher academic institutions, now they are, of course, they are involved in research. They are different from teachers in a secondary or tertiary level. University teachers are researchers. So they should think critically, think of the students' well-being of the students and the society. Otherwise, this academic institution is of no use. So we don't want to see such kind of 100% commercialized institutions. So this is my message, and we have to work for it, work for the individual, work for the nation, country, world. So thank you very much, dear sirs, for giving me this opportunity to have this presentation. And if you have any questions, I am pleased to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr.KK. So you have indeed briefed the things very well, and he's asking, is there any questions? No. I think there is no more questions, I think, sir. Very clear.
Yeah, because unless the students get support, I mean, the students support a progress and there are no questions. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So next, I think before Professor Dr.KK come back, I have a few things to say. I was told that today the session will be over probably by 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Okay. So how many of you are ready to stay back till 6 p.m.? How many of the program will go? Raise your hand. No one. 5 o'clock. Let us see how many hands are. How many hands are? Oh, double hands, double. Okay, let us see. Let me see. I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Right, thank you. There is some much. Just a minute. Okay, so my first question was, sorry, I'm not going to give a lecture. We are going to ask a few questions. Okay, let us directly come into today's session. The program is faculty contributions to institution development. Yes, faculty contribution to institutions development. And how many of you think that you have contributed to this institution? Yes, let me see how many hands are. Okay. How many of you think that you have contributed to the institution? All right. Okay. Even then, I can see only 70%. Okay. All right. And how many of you say that, sir, I will continue my contribution to this institution? Okay. 85%. Okay. Do you think that there is some kind of a relationship between my first and the second question? Yes. Now, can you relate the performance and competence levels here? Which is performance and which is competence? Yes, I will contribute. I have been contributing. This is your competence. Performance. How many of you will be staying back? Only a few. Okay. So this is the reality. Right? So we want to break it out first of all. Right? See, who would contribute to the growth of the institution? The management? The students? No. Then who? The faculty, the members of faculty, the teachers. Right? So of course, see, teaching is a wonderful profession. It is a noble profession, of course, because there are a lot of sacrifices than doctors. Okay. So to get into this profession, we have to be ready to sacrifice many things. Okay. And we are not ready for that. This has also become a business nowadays. Yes, I am so sorry to say this. And first of all, coming and attending this
type of programs, we have to have a kind of a clear idea of why we are here and what this program is going to do for us, or how we are going to be benefited out of this. Don't think that all those people who speak here without any kind of purpose and they are just like that blabbering something. They don't think like that. Okay. There are various dimensions. Their speeches, their ideas are those dimensions. We have to look at things in those dimensions also. Something would be very insignificant for you, but that is something which ought to be significant, right? We never give importance to insignificant things. Am I right? Yes. Yes. How many of us wash our chappals every day? I'm so sorry to ask this question. How many of us wash our chappals every day? No? Only a few. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy. Right? But can we go out of our room without washing our face or without? Will you go out? No. Yes. Because you think this is significant and that is insignificant. Got it? So a teacher's role is a predominant role where you should not have any kind of discrimination. First of all, you have to have that in your mind. Okay. So, right. I have another question here. Yes. I have another question here. A few questions, just the answers. You will just find out the answers, and that will do for me. Okay, because I have very limited time. You can understand this, but I want to just sow the seed in some people. Okay. How does an institute get its identity? How does your college get its identity? How does your college get famous? Can you even say? Outcome. What is it? Yes, madam, please. Let me hear from others also. Thank you. Let me hear from others also. Performance. How is the performance identified by the public or by others or by NAC? Pardon? Achievements. Okay. Achievement of whom? The students. So you think that the students are the backbone of the institution's development. Am I right? Yes, of course. There is no doubt. Okay. So that is why we find even the UGC is a student center. Am I right? And most of the times we blame the institution, management, or the government or UGC for being student center. The education being student center. Okay. And it should not be too much student centered. In some places, I have seen in some board of studies where I have been a member of board of studies. They said, see, we have to dilute these things. We should have only 4 topics in this unit. No, earlier there were 8 topics, only 4 topics. The students are struggling. No. This should not be the case, because I've been the resource person in one of the conferences in Nepal. Okay, the title of the conference is Crisis in Curricula, right? So, crisis in curricula, the government has organized such a conference where it was a 3-day conference. Okay, and for all the 3 days, only 12 members were presenting the papers and discussing things. They only chosen 12 members from across the world, and only 2 people from India represented the conference. Okay, so one of the participants was the Education Minister of Nepal, right? And why this conference? They had a UG program as 4 years program, and they say that this 4 years program is not enough for UG, and we want to convert this as a 5 years UG program. BA English 5 years. Can you accept that? And let us take it. So we were given the syllabus. Okay, so we just went through the syllabus. Okay, since I belong to English department, let us say that in one unit we had around 18 short stories, okay, and critical essays, okay, and let us say Shakespeare. We had a total of 12 plays of Shakespeare in one paper. Can you handle that? Can you imagine that? Is it possible? Is it possible in our country? We always take America and Japan as standards. There are other countries because these are standards for our cleanliness and for our dress code. Okay, take their education system. Okay, there is no compromising the education quality. Got it? So why are we like this? We always blame the students, and we think that institution's identity lies in the students' development. But we forget that without the faculty members or without the teachers, there is no development in students. Okay, so we have to spend our time. We have to be ready to sacrifice many things in order to create, mold the students. Yes, sir. It's very difficult, sir. Right? I too have some kind of I'm also a human being, but we have to practice patience first and foremost. Okay, let us come out of that, and let me ask the next question. How many of you have goals and objectives? How many of you have goals and objectives? Do you have goals and objectives? As a teacher, what is your goal? Can anyone say, what is your goal as a teacher? Have you set any goal? See, the day one when I enter into an institution, I set a goal, right? See, I have to march towards this. I have to take this institution to this level. That should be my goal. The objective is something, the way in which I attain the goal. How should I attain the goal? There should be no compromise. I'm not going to give notes. I'm going to make the students read the text, understand the text. I'm going to spend time for that. Right? Objectives. Have you written down any goals and objectives of you? No. Right? See, as teachers, it is our born duty to do this. We are forced to memorize the vision and mission of the institution. And even then, many people do not memorize that. How many of you can tell your institution's vision and mission? No? Thank God, the management people are not here. Yes. A few of you know orally, others. Right? So, you should have your own vision, mission, goals, and objectives. Right? As a teacher, that is missing. So, today, you do one thing, go home, think what should be your goal as a teacher, what should be the objective, right, in your career, and your vision and mission. Be unique, right? Establish yourself. That is very important. So teaching is not just like that going into the class and entertaining the students and just like that reading whatever is there. Is not a copycat job. Okay, I'm so sorry. I may sound very harsh, but that is the reality. Not with all, but with many. I hope you understand. Yes? Okay. And the next question is this. See, I place a lot of questions in front of you. You have to find answers for this, right? How many of you made SWOT SWAC, SWOC, SWAC. SWAC. How many of you know this? How many of you know what this SWOC is? SWAC. How many of you know what this SWOC is? SWAC? No? Yes, yes, madam, she's right. Yes, strength, weakness, opportunities, and challenges. Yes. Pardon? SWOT. Yes, earlier it was threat, but now they have changed that. Don't look that as a threat, but look that as a challenge. Okay, so that is a challenge. It's not a threat. Okay, earlier it was a SWOT. Okay. So SWOT. Okay, how many of you have prepared a SWOT for you? How many of you have done that? Go on. Do that today. What's your strength? What's your weakness? What are the opportunities which you can create? And what are the challenges for you to attain your goals and objectives? Okay? We do not do that. So please do that. Right? So don't take this just as a lecture, as the students take your lectures as a namesake thing. Okay, so these are things which are going to determine your life, probably your life and your students' life. Okay, it is going to find a kind of identity for you, your students, and to your institution. Okay, right? That is it. And SWOT is a kind of self-assessment. Okay. Right. Apart from that, you can take any kind of self-assessment test which is there online, or you can go to the NAC website where we find a series of questions. Okay, you can take you can go to some personality development websites. Okay, and you can go to some kind of learner centers where they give a lot of self-assessment questions. Many self-assessment questions are available online. Okay. You go and search for those self-assessment questions, and you diligently, honestly, you try to answer, and let us see how many of you get 100 marks there. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so being teachers is not a simple job, right? So that is very important. Okay, and my next question would go like this. I think I would wind up with this. I think I'm waiting for Dr.KK. Okay. How many of you have read any book apart from what you are teaching in the classroom? Let me see. Feel free. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 19, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So you can see, it is not finding fault with you, right? We are inside this classroom. Don't have a kind of ego clash. Okay, read, discuss with people. Discuss with people whatever you have read. Okay. See, I have read something and I share it or discuss with someone, a friend of mine, my colleague. What happened? The person without reading that gets knowledge. Okay, please share such things. Okay, read a lot, right? And the most important thing is a teacher should be a good learner. That is why, or that is when a teacher can teach or create good students. Okay, right? Let us see how many of you have enrolled in courses like SWAYAM, NPTEL, or created any MOOCs. SWAYAM, thank you, very good. Others? Class celebrate உட்கார்ந்திருப்பான். என்னது என்ன கேள்வி கேட்டாலும் இதுக்கெல்லாம் நான் பதில் சொல்லணும்னு அவசியம் கிடையாது. அப்படி celebrate உட்கார்ந்திருக்கீங்களா? Maybe sometimes I don't need to expose. Okay, it's not that. So these are the questions which I would like to place in front of you. Because of the time constraint, I think I sort of winding up. Okay, I'm not going to take it till 5 o'clock. Okay, so I hope that you would rethink and reconsider whatever we had discussed here. Thank you. Yes, please leave. I think this is the. Yes, thank you so much for patient listening. Any questions? No. No. Right. Now let me hand over the session to Dr. Pal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful insight.
Yes, I think we are waiting for the answer. Okay. Yes, yes, of course. Yes.
Who we have to sacrifice for the students or for the management or for ourselves or for our family members or for the colleagues.
Behind you there is a person. Behind you there is a person. She is my wife. Okay. You can ask her what is the sacrifice as a teacher. Amen. Because see, first and foremost, a family should be ready to understand that. Okay, it is our responsibility for making us making our family, parents, husband, children understand our responsibility. Okay, that is the first thing which we have to do. Because without the support of the family, of course, we are not going to do it. Because we are not independent person, right? So we can't say that we don't need any family and let us just go ahead with this service to the society, to the students, the community, and to the institution. No, of course. So the first job for us is to make our family understand the responsibility. Okay, so that is very important. So when our family understands that, you no need to sacrifice things. Okay, definitely there will be support, and there will be a lot of courage, strength in you. Okay, what is the hurdle in you? Your family is the first hurdle. Am I right? So I think I answered. Yes, thank you so much. And Roy sir is here. Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kavi, and we have a wonderful speaker right now with us, Dr. Roy. So, Roy, sir, are you there? Yeah. So, Dr. Roy, sir, is getting connected to his audio right now. To give a few words about Roy, sir. Roy, sir, is from University of Sogar in Oman. Again, he is a down-to-earth person, and basically he's a linguist, and he is associated with some journals. In case if you are looking for collaboration in the field of Yeah, in case if you are looking for collaboration in the field of cross-cultural pragmatics, varieties of English language through literature, Roy sir is the right person, and very such a humble person with a lot of knowledge and experience. It's our blessings to have you here, Roy sir. Thank you very much for accepting our request, and very sorry for the delay. I know that you had continuous classes as well. Thank you, and over to you, Roy sir. Sir, I saw your audio is muted.
Okay.
You are audible.
Okay.
You are very clear, sir.
Okay. Okay then. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. KK, for this wonderful opportunity to share the platform with you once again. I think last time when we met, I think we met at VIT, your institution, yeah, yes, for the conference. All right. So, yeah, as you know, it's a work day here in Oman. Thursday is a work day actually. In fact, I have one more class from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's only 2:54 here. That means I have only 6 minutes left in front of me before my next class starts here. But don't worry, I'll make arrangements with my students. So, because it's a wonderful opportunity to interact with such an erudite audience. All right. So we are here today to talk about faculty contributions to institution development. And I think my task is to discuss this issue in relation with teaching and testing. As one of the former speakers rightly suggested, I think I forgot the name of the one who was speaking just before me. So as he rightly suggested, for an institution, for any institution to be successful, of course, the students need to be successful. If you ask me the question, who is a successful teacher? Of course, we have many theories about successful teachers. We have many definitions and descriptions. But if you ask me personally, I would say a successful teacher is one whose students are actually successful in life. If your students are not successful, rather if our students are not successful in life, I don't think we are entitled to call ourselves successful teachers, because teaching needs to, at the end, reflect or result in the success of our students. So perhaps that's the reason why we are talking about teaching and testing today. So coming back to the point of teaching, what actually is teaching? What do we consider as teaching? There was a time when we talked about teaching as a process of transferring knowledge or as a process of transferring information. But I had the opportunity to listen to Dr. Muhammad Shahul Haq, who was talking about critical thinking. So it is not simply what you call processing or transferring information. And that was the traditional concept of what you call looking at teaching. And that is why we used to call it the jug and mug method. Like you pour water from one jug to mug, we consider students in front of us as tabula rasa, empty minds or empty slates on which nothing is written. But modern psychology tells us that students sitting before us are in fact people with greater knowledge than we have, because they possess the knowledge of our generation and also their generation. So they are students not with, they are not students with empty minds. They are not blockheads. They have a lot of knowledge of their own. So we no more look at teaching as a process of transferring knowledge to empty minds or empty souls. And then what actually is teaching? Is it the process of enabling learners to realize themselves? And that is what, again, Dr. Muhammad Haq, going back to Dr. Muhammad Shahul Haq, he was also talking about Nalanda University, about Buddha, people who got enunciated, all those things. So is education merely the process of enabling learners to realize themselves. If you have done your B.Ed course, of course, I did my B.Ed course from India, and then this was one of the definitions given to us about education. You know, education is making every human being a human being by enabling him or her to realize themselves. You realize yourselves, you realize your own potentialities, you realize your inner soul. So that was a spiritual kind of perspective. But today, if you ask people what actually is education, we also talk about education as a process of, or teaching as a process of equipping learners with the skills and the knowledge necessary for surviving in the employment market. So it's not enough that you have enough knowledge. It's not enough that you are a great person, good person with an impeccable character. That alone is not enough. Of course, you need to have all these things, but you also need to be equipped. You also need to equip yourself with what you call the knowledge and the skills required to be successful in the job market. And if your students have achieved that, then of course, maybe you can call yourself a successful teacher. Because otherwise, without these qualities, our students are not going to be successful in real life. When they walk out of our campuses, if they are not able to walk out of the campuses with the success in their hands, of course, we have failed as teachers. And perhaps that's why Gandhi, if you look at Gandhi's concept of education, Gandhi came out with what you call a holistic attitude. So he did not compartmentalize human beings into people with knowledge and some people with good values and some people with skills. He didn't compartmentalize human beings like that. So while talking about education, we always talk about Gandhi's, 3 H's. Gandhi talked about 3 H's. Maybe you have heard of those famous H's of Mahatma Gandhi. So the first H actually stands for heart. You must be a good human being. Unless you are a good human being, if you have a very developed mind, if you are highly intellectual, but if you do not have the values required to be a human being, instead of being a boon to the society, you are going to be a curse to the society, because you will be using all your intellect for achieving your evil goals and evil plans. So that is why Gandhi gave primary importance to the development of heart, the development of human values. So the first H is heart, and secondly, he also spoke about head. You also need to develop intellectually. You need to be able to solve problems. You need to be able to analyze things properly. You should be able to evaluate and appraise. You should be able to think critically. You must be able to think differently. So critical thinking is actually thinking differently. You should be able to look at things from a different perspective. It is divergent thinking. It is going away from the norms sometimes if it is required. So that is why Gandhi spoke of 3 H's, heart, head, and of course, you also need to have hands that can work. So the third H actually stands for a hand. So this in fact is a very holistic approach to education. You need to have human beings who have developed values. You need to have human beings who have developed intellectually. We also need to have human beings who are skilled and who are proficient in doing certain things. But what happens with what you call the market economy coming into prominence, with the spread of globalization and with the spread of privatization everywhere in the world, now we are only looking at what people can do. We perhaps don't look at whether people have become, intellectually better, whether people have acquired, the qualities or the values required for a human being. Those things have disappeared. They are vanishing gradually from the scene, because our focus now is on what you can do. We have become too practical. We have become too mundane, perhaps in that sense. So then how should teaching be? If this is not teaching, then how should teaching be? As one of the speakers rightly mentioned, the most important stakeholder in the whole business of teaching is actually the student. And as I told you just now, if the student doesn't become successful in her life or his life, you can't call yourself a successful teacher. In order to label yourself as a successful teacher, you need to guarantee the success of the students who come to you. So student is the most important stakeholder. Of course, we have many other stakeholders in the whole business of education. But as we say, in every business, can we call education a business? Perhaps yes. I think Dr. Rajadare from Sri Lanka was talking about how students go from his country because they are affluent. State universities are reserved for people who can't afford to study abroad. So you don't acquire education these days, rather you purchase education, you buy education. So money also matters here. So in every business, if you can call it a business, in every business, the consumer is the king. And who is the king in our business? Of course, it is the students. The most important stakeholder in the whole affair of teaching, learning is, of course, the student. And that is why we say, where there is no learning, if there is no learning, absolutely there is no teaching. You may go on teach. You may go on teach and teach and teach. You think that you are teaching, but if the students don't learn, teaching hasn't become successful. So we can certainly say, if there is no learning taking place, it also means there is no teaching taking place. So how do you ensure that our students are learning? How do we make sure that our students are acquiring the course learning objectives that we have prepared for them? So for that, we need to make our teaching learner-centered. We always talk about learner-centered teaching, keeping the student in the focus or in the center of the whole affair of teaching. Maybe you have, not maybe, I'm sure as teachers, we have all heard of Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. He talks about logical intelligence, musical intelligence, social, interpersonal intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence. So we need to learn our learners first before we learn how to teach. Before we get a mastery of the topic that we are going to discuss with our students, it's also imperative that we know our students. And that is why we say, to teach John Latin, we need to know both John and Latin. So if you want to teach John Latin, it's not enough that you know Latin. You should also know John, because unless you know how John will learn from you, what aptitude he has, which side of his brain is faster in picking up things, what are his aptitudes, what are his interests, what are his learning strategies, what are his learning styles. Unless we know the student, then we won't be able to teach. Now, the next question I would like to ask you is, has testing got something to do with teaching? Can you relate testing to teaching? Of course, testing is an integral part of the teaching business. It is an integral part of the teaching process, because why we test is, it is not only to know whether the student has acquired the desired learning objectives, it's also a checklist for us as teachers. Because after we give a test, we have the opportunity to understand whether our students have learned acquired the course learning outcomes. So it gives us an opportunity to go back to our teaching methods. It gives us an opportunity to revisit our teaching styles and to improve upon them. So like strengths, you get to know your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and you can list your challenges and overcome them. I think the speaker before me was talking about that. So when you give a test to the students, you are actually not just testing the student, you are actually testing yourself as a teacher. So from the results, from the scores of the students in the test, you are getting an opportunity to assess yourself as a teacher. Was I successful, in making sure that my students have acquired, my students have obtained the course learning objectives that I have set for them? So this is what we call in education the washback effect. So the washback effect of testing is actually very important for the teacher to improve upon her or her teaching style. So that way we need to incorporate, we talk about continuous assessments now. We talk about formative assessments. We talk about norm-based assessments. We talk about what you call summative assessments, proficiency tests, everything. But the point I want to raise now is we also need to incorporate testing into our day-to-day teaching. In every class, in every 10 or 20 minutes, we must have an opportunity to assess or to check whether the students are acquiring what we teach them. And that is where we can make use of CCQs. CCQ means concept check questions. So you are testing the students. Usually what we do is, after we teach something to our students, we have the normal question, do you understand or did you understand? This is a question that very often we ask our students, did you understand? And then, of course, most of the students will say, yes, we understood. But how do you guarantee, how do you make sure for yourself that the students have really understood? In order to do that, we need to come out with what we can call CCQs, or we need to come out with concept check questions. So what do you understand by, what does concept check questions mean? Instead of asking, do you understand or did you understand, we need to frame certain questions to ask our students. And based on the answers that they give us, say, for example, if you are teaching the present continuous tense and you give them a sample sentence, you give them an example, they are painting the wall. They are painting the wall. They are painting the wall now. So you explain the form, you explain the meaning, you explain how a sentence is structured in the present continuous tense, and then you ask them the question, did you understand? And most of the students might say, yes, we understood. Maybe they didn't understand, but they don't want to expose themselves as slow learners or weak learners, perhaps. They don't want to feel ashamed of, they don't want to feel ashamed in front of their peers. So they might ask the question. Instead of asking the question, did you understand? A teacher can perhaps ask the question, are they painting the wall now? Are they painting the wall now? And if the student says no, that means the student hasn't understood what present continuous tense is. And if they say yes, then you know they have understood what a present continuous tense is. You can also ask a question differently. The question differently, you might put the question in different words. Is the painting finished? Is the painting over? And if the students say yes, it is over, then you know that they haven't understood what is present continuous tense. So if they say yes, the painting is not over. Sorry, if they say yes, the painting is over, then you know they haven't understood what you were trying to teach them. So we need to come up with concept check questions like this. So this is a kind of testing students to make sure that they have understood what we are really teaching them. For example, if you are teaching the word employed, you want to give the meaning of the word employed. You are teaching in class 5 or class 4, you have a new lexical item to introduce to the students. So if you ask the question, if you teach them the word employed, maybe you give the meaning in your mother tongue, you explain the meaning of that word, and you ask them, did you understand? And they might say yes. But there is no absolute guarantee that they have really understood the meaning of employed. Instead of asking that question, why can't we ask a question like, she is employed? Does she have a job? What do you think? If you ask that question, does she have a job now? Is she working now? Does she go every day to that job? So depending on the answers you get from students to these questions, you will be able to properly assess whether the students have really understood. So these are some of the ways in which we can incorporate, continuous assessment or continuous testing into our teaching. And we also need to make sure that our assessments or our testing is what you call criterion based. So criterion based means you make you announce to the students what we expect from this course. We are not going to award marks or scores to the students comparing the performance of different students in the class. If you have achieved your course learning objective, you get the score that you deserve. And of course, when you prepare the marking criteria, you need to have different grades. If they have reached this, if they have achieved these features or these aspects of what you are teaching, they fall into that category. And if they have achieved the other level, of course, they will fall into the other level. So you need to make it. We don't have to keep it as a secret from the students. We need to make it known to the students so that they know clearly well what is expected of them. And when we prepare our tests, and when we prepare our materials, preparing tests and preparing materials, as I don't remember the name of the speaker, as one of the speakers was suggesting, we need to triangulate properly to make sure that our materials match with the CLOs, our assessments match with the materials. You see, we need to triangulate properly to make sure that there is proper correlation between these things. And we need to divide, our course learning objectives into different categories. We need to have knowledge-based or understanding-based CLOs. We need to have cognitive CLOs. We also need to have practical CLOs. In other way, going back to what I was telling at the beginning, this is what Gandhi's 3Hs means. You have the knowledge, you have the cognitive skills, and you also have the practical skills. You can ask students to define things. That means you are testing their knowledge. You can ask them to label. You can give them, match the following activities. You can ask them to relate something to something else. When you are asking them to do all these kinds of things, you are actually testing their knowledge. You can also ask them to assess certain things. We can ask them to write critical appreciations of poems. We can ask them to analyze and value and evaluate certain things. And these are, of course, your cognitive skills. And we can also ask them to produce, to develop, to create, and to design certain things, depending on the courses that you teach. And that will take care of the practical skills required of the students. So this is how perhaps we need to remold our teaching to make sure that our students become successful in life. And this is perhaps one of the ways of contributing greatly to our institution, because the greatest stockholder in the whole affair of education is none but the student. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech and thoughts and knowledge you shared with us. And we are here to implement your views with our students. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I am immensely thankful to our chief guest, Dr. Mohammad Samsud, Associate Professor and former Head Department of English, Bodhi International University, Bangalore. Sir, your thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown us path in terms of curricular aspect. The way you express a poem stopping by the woods on the snowy evening is marvelous, sir. Thank you, sir.
You are most welcome, madam. Thank you. I'm happy that you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm grateful to Dr. S. Rajadurai, Senior Lecturer, Department of English Language Teaching, University of Colombo, Sri Lanka, from the bottom of my heart for his wise word, which helped to magnify our class in the best possible way. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. Thanks a lot for your good or kind feedback.
Yeah. Right, good evening. Probably I'll just take 5 minutes. Are you ready? 5 minutes? You want 5 minutes or 15 minutes? How many of you say 5 minutes? Please put up your hands. 5 minutes. Okay. How many of you want 15 minutes? So we will come to agreement that I'll be just taking 5 minutes of your time. And probably today this conclave, The basic difference between conclave and conference is, first of all, you should understand that usually in a conference, we discuss on, ma'am, will you please stop talking? I'm not on the phone. Okay. Ma'am, the basic understanding as a teacher, if you are not, are you not a teacher, ma'am? Yeah. If you are a teacher, basically you must understand the difference between conference and conclave. Conference is a place where we take up an issue, call for papers related to the particular topic, where all the participants present their views, and we come to a conclusion the final day of an event. Whereas in conclave, there is nothing like a paper presentation. We discuss on a particular subject. The subject that we have taken today is more related to IQAC. Probably when I was talking with Bala for the first time, I was just checking your NAC score. What is the score that the institution has got? And for information, I work in IQAC in my department, in my university, and we have got A++. And you know how difficult it is to get A++, and you also know what best you can do from your side as teachers. This conclave is to show you to the world. See, we have a lot of experts from different countries who are ready to invest their time, as well as they are ready to help us in all ways of research. Because in IQAC, the main criteria is criteria 3, which talks about research, development, consultancy, fundings. So that's the reason why we thought, let us give an introduction to all of you. If you don't mind, first of all, we all know that there is a concept called UGC journals. Is it right? And have you seen the latest UGC journals, careless journals? If you just go to UGC journals, it will take you to a website which is from University of Pune. And again, it will ask you to log in. Once you log in, it will show you two options, option 1, option 2. If you click option 1, again, when you click option 1, it will have list of journals based on the subjects. And if you click option 2, it will take you directly to Scopus or Web of Science journals. So all these things as teachers you must understand. And why I am talking about research, because that is one area we all should improvise on ourselves. And Dr. Rajadurai, Dr. Shams, Dr. Roy sir, all these professors have helped me to understand more about research, because I also met them in conferences, in a meeting like this, and that has given a chance to work together. And today, you know, I take a lot of privilege in telling them that they are brothers in some other countries and universities. There is nothing wrong, because we learn from each other, and they have really motivated us to build a network. And today, I'm so happy to say that I am working currently with almost 26 professors from 18 different countries. And that is quite possible. I don't know how many of you have your PG, how many of you have your PhD, some of you must have your net. But because of some conditions, you are here. Some of you are here for 20 years, 24 years. One reason is the attachment that we have to the institute. Second reason, your house is very nearby. Third reason, you are comfortable with a job. Maybe the salary may be less or high, you are somehow comfortable. But when I entered this hall, I noticed that all of you are teachers, all of you are women. And that is the reason why I thought I should give my speech in the end. Because I have great respect for women, because I see my own wife as a goddess in my house. I always tell this to my sons as well. I have 2 kids at home, and I used to tell them, you don't need to go to a temple in search of God. Your God is very near us. The reason, because I'm seeing how my wife gets up in the morning, what she does, and she leaves home at 7:30. She comes back at 7:30 in the evening. And though I claim that I wash vessels or I wash clothes, I cannot replace my wife when it comes to all passion and all this stuff. So I have greater responsibility to enrich you with a lot of knowledge. That is one reason why we thought, let us give a start today. And I assure you that with the help of Dr.KK, Kaviarasu, or with the help of Dr. Bala, I am there, and we have a very big network. We wish that you also too should come and join hands with us just to elevate yourself. Let's say that your salary is 10,000. Let's say your salary is 5,000. Worst case. Will you be happy with the same 5,000 for next 5 years, 10 years? No. Will you be happy? We should not be happy. Then you try to do some works, make the management happy. Again, you find that they are not happy, they are not raising your salary. And we should always find a way in which we show them that your presence is very important. When your presence is very important, when your contribution to the institute is really very good, your presence will be noted. ரெண்டு விதத்துல வந்து மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் வந்து உங்களை பார்ப்பாங்க. ஒன்று வந்து பார்க்கும் போதெல்லாம் வணக்கம் சார் சொல்லிட்டு, சார் நீங்க ரொம்ப அழகா இருக்கீங்க, நீங்க ரொம்ப நல்லவர் வல்லவர் இப்படி சொல்லி பார்க்குற சில பேர் இருப்பாங்க. ஆனா அவங்களோட அந்த கன்சிஸ்டபிலிட்டி பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா ரொம்ப நாள் இருக்காது. இன்னொருத்தர் பெரிய லெவல்ல ஜாலரா போனவங்களுக்கு தான் அதிக ப்ரிஃபரன்ஸ் கிடைக்கும். அப்போ உங்களை கழட்டி விட்டுருவாங்க இல்லையா? தட் இஸ் அ ராங் வே. And which is the right way to show that, you know, I have stuff. I'm not ordinary lady. Don't think me as a mother of 2 children. Don't think me as a wife. You know, I am a woman of high potential. அப்படின்னு நீங்க நம்பணும் first of all. ஏதோ வந்தோம், காலைல வீட்டுல சாப்பாடு செஞ்சோம், வந்தோம், ஏதோ சொல்லி கொடுக்குறோம், சம்பாதிச்சோம், போனோம் அப்படின்னு தயவு செய்து இருக்காதீங்க. Because I strongly believe women can work much smarter than men. It's sure. It's not that I'm talking with you because you're all women. Some of you will call me to your home and give me biryani. அதுக்காக அப்படி சொல்ல கிடையாது. The fact is that, you know, I strongly believe, because I got married in 2002. I'm changing a lot of changes in my wife when it comes to being very smart. And somehow I teach her how to be very smart in the workplace, and she has her own characters now. She has become super smart, much better than me. I think next time when I meet you, I should bring my wife and ask her to talk with you more about how to improvise on your skills. And today, Dr. Shams, Dr. Rajre sir, Dr. Roy sir, and we have a lot of people who are watching this live. See, one thing I want to tell you to carry back to your home. You know, if you are very smart in your workplace, obviously you will enjoy yourself. You will enjoy your life, because when you reach home, you have a lot of responsibilities, you have a lot of stress. Sometimes you are also human being, you are so tired as well. But whereas in workplace, you know, this is a place where you can really enjoy. You know, first place is your family. Second place, you can burst all your stress at workplace, and you can really enjoy. And again, you can really grow very well. And that's the reason why we had this program today. And what we should work is, you know, we are talking more about research. சார் எனக்கு ரிசர்ச்லாம் ஒன்றுமே வராது சார். என்ன சார் பேப்பர் எழுதுங்கிறாங்க, பிஹெச்டி பண்ணுங்கிறாங்க, அவன் காசே இல்லாமல் இருக்கான், எப்படி சார் பிஹெச்டி பண்ணுறது, என்ன சார் பேப்பர் பண்ணுறது, நம்மளே தனியாக தான் பண்ணி படிச்சுட்டு வந்துட்டோம் ஏதோ வேலைக்குன்னு, ஏதோ இந்த காலேஜில் புண்ணியம் பாவம் பார்க்காம புண்ணியமாக போகுதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவங்க வேலை சேர்த்துட்டாங்க நம்மளையும். அப்படிலாம் எல்லாமே இருக்கும். எல்லாமே பெரிய அப்பாட்டாகலாம் கிடையாது. எல்லாம் இன்னைக்கு உள்ள பெரிய ஆள்லாம் என்ன பெரிய எக்ஸ்பர்ட்ஸை பிறக்கும் போது அப்படியா? யாருமே எக்ஸ்பர்ட்ஸ் கிடையாது. எக்ஸ்பர்ட் லெவல் அட்டைன் ஆனவங்க, அவ்வளோதான். ஸோ தட் டேக்ஸ் சம் டைம். I am very confident that you can attain the expert level provided you have some அந்த desire. நம்ம வீட்டில் சமைக்கும் போதெல்லாம் பார்த்தோம்னா ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா சமைச்சோன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், பிரியாணி மாதிரியே வரும். நான் வைஃப் சொல்லுவேன், அப்போ இன்னைக்கு தான் பிரியாணி நல்லா வந்திருக்கு அப்படின்னு. இதே வந்து சில சமயம் திட்டிகிட்டே சமைச்சான்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், இன்னைக்கு நான் பொங்கல் தான் சாப்பிடுவேன், சிக்கன் பொங்கல் தான் அது. நான் சொல்லுவேன், இன்னைக்கு நான் சிக்கன் பிரியாணிக்கு பதில் பொங்கலாக இருக்கு அப்படின்னா, ஸோ நம்ம ஏதோ தப்பு பண்ணுறோம் போல, நம்ம வந்து கொஞ்சம் ஒய்ஃபை கன்வின்ஸ் பண்ணுவோம். ஸோ why I tell you this, you know, when you are stress free, when you are mentally strong, it's not that only you are happy, you are making your students happy, you are making your management happy. Naturally, when your management is happy with your profession, when your management is happy with your progress, definitely, you know, sometimes they will think of increasing your salary, and they will ensure that you are treated very well in the campus. நமக்கு அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒரு என்ன சொல்லுவோம் வந்து ரெகக்னேஷன் தேவையே இல்லையா சார்? அவங்க ஒன்றும் கண்டிக்கவே மாட்டாங்க சார், நல்லா வானத்தையே வளைச்சு பார்த்துட்டேன், ஒன்றும் அசர மாட்டாங்க, ரொம்ப மாடுங்க. நம்ம அப்படி சொல்றது எப்படி சார்? நான்லாம் கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டப்படணும் சார், இந்த மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் கூப்பிட்டு அப்ரிஷியேட் பண்ணாங்க. இந்த அப்ரிசியேஷன் அப்படிங்கிறது எல்லாத்துக்குமே ரெக்குவயர்மெண்ட் உண்டா இல்லையா? ஒரு ரப்பர் பால் எடுத்து இந்த செவத்துல வேகம் அடிச்சு என்ன ஆகும்? செவர் உடச்சிட்டு போயிருமா? நீங்களா சூப்பர் விமன், ஒண்டர் விமன் எல்லாமே கிடையாது. அந்த ரப்பர் பால் என்ன ஆகும்? ஆக்சுவலா when you are committed, naturally, it's something like throwing a rubber ball against the wall. And the commitment எப்படி ரிஃப்ளெக்ட் ஆகும் அப்படின்னா அப்ரிசியேஷன் கண்டிப்பா ரிஃப்ளெக்ட் ஆகும். அது பணமா இல்லாட்டியும் that will give you a lot of happiness. So my dear women, I should call you as gods, all goddesses here. This is the right time to start to think about the research. நீங்க கிளாஸ் ரூம்ஸ்ல எடுப்பீங்க, உங்க காமர்ஸ் பசங்க இருப்பாங்க, எம்காம் பசங்க இருப்பாங்க, எம்ஏ பசங்க இருப்பாங்க. ஸோ கிளாஸ் ரூம்ல இருந்து எப்படி ரிசர்ச் கொண்டு வரலாம் அப்படிங்கிறத நீங்க பிளான் பண்ணுங்க. ஏன் அப்படின்னா ரிசர்ச் பண்றதுக்கு ஒரு 100 புக்கு படிக்கணும், 500 பேப்பர் படிக்கணும்லாம் கிடையாது. உங்க கிளாஸ் ரூமே ஒரு பெரிய ரிசர்ச் லேப். ஸோ நம்ம என்ன பண்ணலாம், டுடே we will close it right now, but definitely we will start the program in the morning. ஏன்னா ஈவினிங் வந்து நிறைய பேர் கவர்மெண்ட் பஸ்ல போவீங்க, பஸ் மிஸ் பண்ணிடுவோம், காலேஜ் பஸ் முடிச்சீங்க ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆவீங்க, பஸ் மிஸ் பண்ணிடுவோம், அதெல்லாம் இருக்கும். பட் நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் I will talk with your principal ma'am as well as your IQAC coordinator. We will ensure that we do something for ourselves. நம்ம ஏதாவது கத்துக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னா it's always good for you, your family as well as your institution. Thank you very much and I wish you all very good luck. திருப்பி வரலாமா உங்களை மீட் பண்ண? வெள்ளூர் போட அப்படிதான் சொல்றீங்களா? இல்ல அவ்வளோ ஒன்று கிடையாது. Not like that. Our intention is very good. Probably the way we communicate may be something different, but ஏன்னா நம்மளும் வந்து பெரிய ஆள்லாம் கிடையாது, எல்லாமே கஷ்டப்பட்டு அப்படி இப்படி வந்தவங்க தான். ஸோ நமக்கு வந்து somebody have helped us. Somebody like KK, somebody like Bala has shown the way. Hey, வாடா டேய், நீ நல்ல வேலை பார்க்குற வாடா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு, so they have brought us to this level. Today I am very happy that I am getting very equivalent salary to somebody who is working in a central university or much more than that. VIT is one place where I'm really enjoying and I'm executing my passion of being a teacher. So I wish you also should have a passion. Let's do in action. We will talk with your principal and we will have a workshop where we will help you to write. First of all, classroom la irundhu eppadi research kondu varalam அப்படிங்கற பண்ணுவோம். Classroom la irundhu ஒரு research பண்றோம். Let's say that you have 60 பேர் ஒரு 50 பேர் கிளாஸ்ல இருக்கான்னு வச்சுக்குவோம், சரியா? Let's say that out of 50, 10 students will be very smart. You make the 10 students to write paper. அப்ப என்ன ஆயிருது, இந்த IQAC அப்படிங்கிறது என்னன்னா குவாலிட்டி மெஷர்மெண்ட் இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்றதுக்கு தான். So we will make these 10 students to write, we will publish these 10 papers and you be the author of the book. நான் திருப்பி சொல்றேன், நீங்க வந்து எம்காம் அப்படின்னு ஒரு கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறீங்க, பிகாம்ல ஒரு கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறீங்க, பிகாம்ல ஒரு 10 பேர் எடுங்க, எம்காம்ல 10 பேர் எடுங்க. ஒரு கான்செப்ட் எடுத்துக்குவோம், நம்ம வந்து இன்டர்நேஷனல் பிசினஸ் எடுத்துக்குவோம், இல்ல வந்து ரீட்டைல் மார்க்கெட்டிங் எடுத்துக்குவோம், பிளாக் செயின் அப்படின்னு எடுத்துக்குவோம். சரி, பிளாக் செயினுக்கும் காமர்ஸ்க்கு என்னடா சம்பந்தம்? பிளாக் செயினுக்கும் காமர்ஸ் தான் சம்பந்தம் நிறைய இருக்கு, இன்டர்நேஷனல் பிசினஸ் இருக்கு. ஒரு கான்செப்ட் எடுத்து படிக்க சொல்லுவோம் பிள்ளைங்களை, நியூஸ் கேதர் பண்ணுவோம். எப்படி கேதர் பண்ணுவோங்கிறது நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணுவோம். ஸோ நம்ம கேதர் பண்ணிட்டு வாட் வி கேன் டூ இஸ் தட் இந்த கிளாஸ்ல 10 பேர், இந்த கிளாஸ்ல 10 பேரை மோட்டிவேட் பண்ணி ஒரு ஆளுக்கு ஒரு நாலேஜ் புக்கை எழுத வைக்க முடியுமா? முடியாது. இட்ஸ் பாசிபிள் இன் ஆல் த சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ். அப்ப என்ன பண்றோம், அந்த 20 பேர் பேப்பரை வந்து ஒரு புக்கா பப்ளிஷ் பண்றோம். அந்த புக்குக்கு ஆத்தர் யாரு? நீங்க தான். அப்ப now it does it make sense or not? என்ன ஆகுது, நீங்க படுற கஷ்டத்தை ரிட்டர்ன்ஸ் அங்கேயே வந்து இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்றீங்க, ரிட்டர்ன்ஸ் கிடைக்குது. எப்படி? you have been accredited with the book editor work. அப்போ உங்க நேம்ல வந்து ஒரு புக்கை வந்து ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிடுறோம். உங்க ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு வந்து பப்ளிகேஷன் வந்து உண்மையாலுமே நல்லதா இல்லையா? நல்லது. அப்ப வந்து நம்ம வந்து புக் ஆத்தர் ஆயிடுறோம், ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு வந்து பெனிஃபிட் ஆயிருது. உங்க IQAC படி பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா அது என்ன சொல்லுவோம், இனோவேஷன் இன் கிளாஸ் ரூம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம், ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் பப்ளிகேஷன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். இப்ப எல்லாமே வந்து என்ன பண்றோம், இப்போ நானும் கவி சார் வந்து இங்க ஒரு ட்ரைனிங் கொடுக்குறோம்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். ஒரு ட்ரைனிங்கோட அவுட்புட், ஒரு ட்ரைனிங் பண்ணது வந்து நம்ம ரெக்கார்ட் பண்றோம், ஒரு ஈவெண்ட்டாக ரெக்கார்ட் பண்றோம். ஸோ அந்த ட்ரைனிங் முடியுது. ட்ரைனிங்கோட அவுட்புட் என்ன, நீங்க போய் கிளாஸ்ல போய் ட்ரைனிங் கொடுக்குறீங்க, உங்க பசங்களுக்கு எழுத வைக்கிறீங்க, ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் பப்ளிஷ் பண்றாங்க, நீங்க ஆத்தரா இருக்கீங்க. அப்ப ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு நெருப்பு வந்து எவ்வளவு பெரிய ஃபயர் கொண்டு வந்துருது பாருங்க. நம்ம பண்ற சின்ன சின்ன ஒர்க் தான், பட் தட் மேக்ஸ் அஸ் டிஃபரெண்ட் ஃப்ரம் அதர்ஸ். ஒரு 20 பேர் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்ல வந்து 20 பேர் வேலை செய்வானா? செய்ய மாட்டான். ஒரு 5 பேர் தான் வேலை செய்வான். அவன் நம்பி தான் காலேஜே ரன் ஆகிட்டு இருக்கோம். மீதி 15 பேர்ல 5 பேர் வந்து வெட்டிக்கிறது தான். புரியுமா? இப்ப புரியுவா? வாயிலே வடை சுடுவாங்க, அவன் வடை இருக்காது. ஆனா இந்த 5 பேர் சுடுற வடையை தான் மீதி உள்ள எல்லாமே ஷேர் பண்ணுவாங்க. அதான் ஃபேக்ட். வேலை செய்யறவங்க வந்து டோன்ட் கெட் டிமோட்டிவேட்டட், நெவர் கெட் டிமோட்டிவேட்டட். ஏன்னா இவ்வளவு வேலை செய்ய மாட்டாங்க, அவங்க 5,000 சம்பளம் வாங்குறான், நம்ம வேலை செய்யறோம், நம்மளும் 5,000 சம்பளம் வாங்குறோம். பட் யூ வில் ஸ்டாண்ட் யூனிக், யுவர் பிரசன்ஸ் வில் ஆல்வேஸ் பி நோட்டட். இந்த பெரிய வெள்ளம் வரும்போதுலாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த ஆத்து ஓரத்துல இருந்து போய் அடிச்சுட்டு போயிடும். அந்த மாதிரிதான் இந்த ஏமாத்திட்டு இருக்கவங்க ஆத்து ஓரத்துல இருக்கிற மாதிரிதான், அவங்க அடிச்சு போயிட்டே இருக்கும். whereas you are very strongly firm. So I wish you all will meet together again shortly, and we will try to turn into a new page. Thank you very much. Your bus is waiting. God bless you all. Take care. See you. Formal order, thanks. முடிஞ்சிருச்சு மேடம் அப்படியே முடிச்சிட்டாங்க. திருப்பி மேடம் வந்து எல்லாம் அடிப்பீங்களா, கல்ல வச்சிருப்பீங்களா? எல்லாம் கிடையாதா? Okay. Thank you very much. So thank you. Please get up. Please go. Please go. Please go. No more wasting of time. Thank you all participants for this wonderful opportunity. Sometimes we were bilingual to make sure that the idea is well communicated. We will be really so happy to meet you in another event. Thank you all dignitaries for giving your time. I will get back with all the feedbacks and responses from these participants. Thanks again. Have a nice day. Take care.